Who would agree that we live in a time that is so divided? John, isn't this a divided country? Don't you agree?
I agree.
We can't seem to agree on anything. Except for one thing. The Microsoft cloud is the right direction for this country, and Office 365 is best for America. Democrats and Republicans alike agree on this. Even Hillary, she was caught on film. I do not recommend on-premise mail servers. If I had to do it all over again, I would have used Office 365. She really learned the hard way. Even Trump just recently tweeted this. America needs to be secure. After we build a wall, we're going to move everyone to Office 365. We're going to save millions. We'll be secure. It's going to be a beautiful thing. You wait and see. I bet you didn't know that. Now, participation. Meet Rick. What do you think his problem is? Somebody has to take a guess.
He just got gas.
He just got days? No. Anybody? He got X? That's a candy cane for you. Okay, next slide. Nope, he clicked on an attachment that contained ransomware, and now he has to pay $900 to get his information back. Yeah, he got hurt a little bit, $900. That hurts, but he'll be okay. Now, meet Phil. What do you think happened to this guy? Anyone?
He didn't switch to Geico.
That's a really good guess, but that's not right. This guy, all he did was click on a link in an email, and it infected his computer, and now he's got this message on the screen that says he has to call Microsoft to get it fixed. And we all know that that's not true. It's not really Microsoft who's behind it, but that's his problem. And it gets worse. And by the way, these are all, this next one is a true story. The names have been changed and the faces have been changed to protect the identity of the company, but this is actually one of my customers. I won't tell you who it is, but this is true, and it's shocking what you're going to hear. So, this guy's problem was he went to happy hour and stayed until the bar closed. Next morning, he was half asleep when he clicked on a link in an email. Nothing happened. He didn't think anything of it. So he went along his miserable day. What he didn't realize that when he clicked on the link, a hacker gained complete control of his computer. He could read all of his emails. He could access all of his files. The hacker did this for several months. So this hacker was able to read emails, which he was carbon copied on by the CFO and one of his recent customers, which had an outstanding balance of $25,000. This hacker knew so much about the company, was incredible. So fast forward, this is the email that he clicked on. It looked innocent enough. He clicked there, and that was the end. Meet Steve. What do you think his problem is?
Ghost peppers.
Well, okay. This blue, it's a little hard to read, but Steve is Bob's CFO and just found out that Bob's customer wired $20,000 to a hacker bank account thinking that they were paying off their balance due. This really happened 60 days ago. And you might ask yourself, how does something like that happen? Meet George. He's the hacker. Had a really awesome time in Vegas that weekend doing the happy dance after receiving his $20,000 wire. You do have to admit he's a good dresser. How did this happen? Okay. So the hacker knew that the customer owed $25,000 because he had access to to read all of his emails. The hacker knew the CFO's email address which is steve@quintosofinancial.com. He also knew the email address of the customer, which was joe@acmeservice.com. So what the hacker did was he went out and he purchased domains that added an S on the end of each of those domains. Okay? So now he set up a mail account on both of those domains. He had access to Bob's computer, so he went in and he changed the email address associated with that contact. So whenever the CFO would send an email to the customer, it would actually go to the hacker. Now he also had the email address of the customer. So through this process, he was able to communicate with both people, and he so generously negotiated a settlement of the $25,000 debt for $20,000 as long as he would wire the money into the bank account by Friday at noon. So this is real. It happened. It's clever, I think. I mean, you have to admit, this is a pretty ingenious scheme if you're a bad guy. You know, the CEO or the CFO kept communicating back and forth, thinking that he was talking to the customer. The customer thought he was communicating with the CFO, sent them a bank with a routing number. Before you knew it, they were $20,000 in the red. So, meet Dylan. Guess who Dylan is? Guess why he's so happy? Kick back.
He uses Office 365.
Ding, 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 ding. So Dylan migrated his company to Office 365 and knows his email and company data is safe. With Office 365 productivity tools, he doesn't know what to do with all this extra time, so he actually takes regular work breaks, unlike me. So how many people are currently on Office 365? Let me put my glasses on. Well, I know you guys are. Of our customers that are here, is anybody? Okay, you guys? Okay. There's how many people are planning on moving to Office 365? Oh, you are. Great. Anyone else? No? Why not? Maybe after this you'll consider it. So there's an add-on to Office 365 which is called Advanced Threat Protection. It's $2 a month per user, and this guarantees that you're protected against what's called zero-day threats. Does anybody know what a zero-day threat is? Anyone? Nobody back there? A zero-day threat is one that hasn't been defined by the people that scan for viruses. They make their definition databases that they publish. So whenever you update your antivirus, those definitions get pushed down, and if one of those viruses would have to come into the network, it would capture it. So the hackers are becoming more and more sophisticated, meaning they'll write a threat and they'll send it to you, and it'll get right through all of your virus protection, all of your current on-premise scanning. So by adding this simple solution, you're guaranteed not to get infected, because whenever a message comes in to Office 365 and the user is enabled for this advanced threat protection, what happens if an attachment is on the email, it takes that attachment and it detonates it. Think of it as a bomb squad for your inbox. It actually takes the attachment in the cloud, puts it into a VM, blows it up, makes sure that there's nothing malicious associated with it. If it's safe, it delivers to the end user. If not, it deletes it. Now, the same thing happens with links. Links are just as dangerous as attachments. If you click on the wrong link, the same thing can happen. It could execute a code, and you could instantly be infected. Sometimes it might encrypt your computer, and you won't be able to use it. Sometimes it might do nothing. It'll be silent, and it'll infect your computer. A number of days later, it might set off a malicious action, or it just might give the hacker ability to log into your computer, and you won't even know he's in there. So this particular product we started using about 8 months ago, and we've had no problems whatsoever. We get reports on a daily basis on the threats that it catches, and it's amazing. I mean, it's really a bad time for this type of stuff. Has anybody been affected by ransomware or any of this?
We were many years ago.
Were you? I mean,
Fortunately, we had a daily backup, and you guys were able to restore it from our backup.
Yeah.
Our IT guys.
Right. Yeah. If you're prepared for it and you have snapshots and you can roll back, then you could be okay. But in some instances,
Right.
you might be in a really, really bad way.
Right.
So this is actually just showing you the end user experience when somebody sends an attachment to you that has this advanced threat protection added onto Office 365. So basically, you'll get the email right away. There's no delay, and it'll show you that there's a scan-in process. And as soon as that, and if you click on that particular attachment, it'll even come up here and say, we're making sure your attachments are safe. It's giving you the progress of it. Within 5 to 10, if you have a whole lot of attachments and they're very big, it could take up to 10 or 15 minutes, depending. But this is what it looks like when the product is processing the attachment. This is what the end user experience is when you get a link. So regardless of what the link is in your email message, it actually redirects it to a place in the cloud where it routes you through that new link and ensures that there's no malicious code that's running on the destination where that link resides. So really, there's no end user difference when it comes to clicking on a link, unless, of course, there is malware at the end of that link, which will be blocked. So for the companies that are contemplating moving to Office 365, or the ones that are already going to, we make it easy. How easy, you ask? First, just call or email us and tell us you're interested. All you have to do is provide us with a test email account in your Exchange server. It doesn't have to be an administrator account. It can be any old email account. It could be a former employee. We don't actually log in and look at mail. All we do is we put it into our discovery tool, which will go out and analyze your mail environment. It'll come back and give us all of your email addresses, your distribution groups, your public folders, your aliases, and all of the other Exchange-related objects that can be migrated to Office 365. So you don't have to we do a lot of this work for you. You don't have to pull mailbox reports or anything like that. So what's next is you decide which mailboxes you want to migrate, because obviously there could be some old employees, ex-employees that you don't want to migrate. There might be just some old mailboxes that just have messages that are from 10 years ago. So you decide which mailboxes you want to migrate, and you decide which Office 365 plan that you want for each of the users. After we receive that information back from you, we give you a detailed migration proposal. Next, you sign the SOW and send us some cash, and we get moving. Right after you click the easy button, 1 to 2 weeks later, you're live on Office 365. We make it a very painless process. It requires very little intervention from your IT department. We've never lost one single email in all the migrations that we've done. We've had 0 downtime on all the migrations that we've performed. So it's really not as drastic of a move as you would think if you have somebody that really knows what they're doing perform your migration. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. Many things can go wrong. They've gone wrong when we've done them. We've had to figure out solutions and plans and ways to overcome those obstacles. But we're pretty good at it now. So my guarantee to you is this. Anybody who we do migrate to Office 365 and they buy the Exchange Advanced Threat Protection, if you indeed end up getting infected with ransomware or any type of malware, I will come to your office and I will sit in a chair and you can tase me in front of your entire company. That's how sure I am that you'll be secure.